Whoa, yummy and chef for Papa Beam, MP, oh, case post, brass close here, Tenacity, a good year with some. Yes, that kind of sweat you post that then I know. Of course, none of paying. Me and my Jabra best from we did to pack a Marusha call. As usual, your producer, Papa Paul, on another pay. But if you to so I'm maybe as it's my come out. If it's them and I feel I'm on them, ya cabo say, a good day with them. Now, a case post on YouTube, Oba subscribe, now if you watch it, Oba like, you be quiet, now do I get to kind of comment as what matter to. Now I feel Basawala for the sweat will say, you know, the teach money now. They tell say, and the Minister of Sports and Recreation, Honorable Kofi Idi Adams, Okasai, ahead of the Ghana World Cup, when he said World Cup, FIFA World Cup 2026, Nyame Aduma, yeah, the qualifiers, when he said, Nyame Aduma, no, October, Ghana Airball, Edetia, car, near kind of Central African Republic, na yewa Kofi Idi Adams, the Minister of Sports and Recreation, what he so akasa afa yeah kind of budget ho and I want to say okay I have my Champions League now you can also can nti yen sha say the sha say what presem na tell them they carry to a name yewa Kofi Idi Adams, the Minister of Sports and Recreation, ahead of 2026 World Cup. Nyame aduma wo entoja wo bi man shi United States of America, USA, and Africa, Canada. Oni mazike kind of co-host ahead of the World Cup qualifiers. Owura I feel say Kofi Idi Adams for the budget aba monte na embro amukasa fa ho HSA 7 years for na say the SSC tie away game Nyame aduma Ghana ebe kwa kupimo cha seka u krum no na sika watwa to so ye chese ukopima US dollars in 733 US dollars and no sika etwa ato so ye kan say away game first leg with my cost o chese ka no ye kopima sika da so e chese 733,000 US dollars and no so nye sika ketwa e chese ye di kwa kopim na second leg no so e chese 387 US dollars. 387 US dollars. And it's all kind of $10,120,000. And also this car, just say, oh, I first Kofi Idi Adams ahead of World Cup qualifiers and Ghana Eco Ball and the whole budget to reference Kofi Idi Adams. And so they were to Ghana for anyone. Ye Bubu Sanson and so they may share for on YouTube case post. Oba na was subscribe after Uber say now I comment here and maybe as what my camera. Enti yekwohwe yewura Kofi Idi Adams, the Minister of Sports and Recreation, wa berode budget to dwane yekwohwe videos ni bi na yemra. Papa Paul ebe project aba enti yekwohwe videos ni bra.
Like I did the last time for Game 7 and 8, following the directives from His Excellency the President, and which he followed when he addressed you, the nation, during his address of the state in Parliament, that he wants us to engender trust with the people we represent. And by doing so, we must be transparent, accountable, and open. Let people see what goes on in governance. He has asked that we make everything clear also. Before Game 7 and 8, I put out the budgets of our national team that was engaged in that exercise. I took you through the processes of how we came to the budget. The estimates will come from the FA that we have given our national teams to manage for us. The ministry will receive, the ministry will look at it, and the ministry with government office of the president will see what can be accepted and not accepted. And when the approval is given, the letter is written to finance to release monies to the ministry for us to spend. And those monies sit here and we spend on the team. I indicated clearly what the estimates were and what the approvals were during March the 7th and 8th, which passed, where we play against Chad and then also Mali here. Today, I'm also pleased to inform you that we have received the estimates for March day 9 and 10. That is against Central African Republic in Morocco and against Comoros here in Ghana. The cost that we still have to pay for will include air tickets for the players who will be flying from their base to Morocco and stay there for some days and compete, and will fly from Morocco to Ghana, and from Ghana they will fly back to their base. We still have to pay for the air tickets. We also will have to pay for air tickets for our technical officials who are not here and will have to join the team, and even those who are in Ghana here will also have to fly from here to Morocco to partake in that game. We're going to pay for accommodation, and accommodation payment rates remain same. 200 USD for single rooms and 250 for double rooms for the number of days that is so needed. The meals per day, it's also 80 USD. The per diem for the players is still the same, the 150, and the officials, the 200. Of course, training facilities that we use don't come free, as I told you the last time. So $1,000 is estimated for that expenditure. The bonus that we paid for players remains same as we have agreed and as the FA itself have agreed with the playing body. The bonus to the head coach remains same. The assistant coaches will remain same. The physiotherapists, doctors, and the analysts and all that remain same. The case officers, the masseur, the media, and all others remain same. And as I mentioned earlier, the incidental or impressed stroke medicals has dropped to 10,000 instead of the 60,000. We find no request for fuel whatsoever in this presentation. So the cost for the away game came to $733,000. But we'll convert it into cedis at the prevailing rate. Most of the expenditure there will be expended in cedis, except the away accommodation and the per diem that is paid the players whilst they are playing away, because that is meant for them to use there, and we don't spend cedis in Morocco. So you can only use dollars and change to either their currency and spend or pay in USD. Again, for March day 10, which is our final game against Comoros, and I know that everybody here and everyone listening to me or who will hear you, the media, want us to pay back Comoros and beat them well for what it is that they did to us when we went there. So we must prepare very well for that. That also has room rates same. We don't have anything for flight tickets because that already has been taken care of in the previous one. The ticket to Morocco, the tickets from Morocco here and from here back to base has already been taken care of in the 733,000. So you look through all and the items are same. What has been added here is that when you are hosting a game, you are responsible for the officiating officials. So their accommodation, their what they call indemnities, we have to, and looking for vehicles for them, and also vehicle for the visiting team. So that brought the total expenditure for our home game to $387,000. When you put this together, it comes to $1,120,000. That's $733,000 and $387,000. So I must say that this is fairly reasonable for now, based on the items that have been agreed with the playing body. I do know, as we move forward, some items in the estimate, we will look at them we'll meet as a body and we'll review them. But
yes, and also you're right, friends. Kofi Idi Adams, the Minister of Sports, and replacing Ono and some two ahead of the World Cup qualifiers. Ghana, yeah, boy, and who budget and one is sick out to you. And the end I want your common on the Amoransa cry and swear to the share and the Champions Night, yeah, kind of Champions League. Now the Atiana say, Ukopima Atlanta Bobokono, or Mutipio, which is the Chewy Sports Stadium, Yamia Duma 6.5, Mitchell non several pounds to my Diana and Numa. One better feel mobile 30% club Buga. I feel Kopima Kate to my friends a character, almost 645 club, when this is same time simultaneous Sabra corner. Almost what the Champions League owners here can say Remanded the White Angels. Lodge Blancos Bobo Kono, Afe Aleto Madubo Tikio Civitas Metropolitano. Ebo at the 30% at Chance Spanford at 9 o'clock. Mitchell non cover some big match on. As to eat my boss. Now they tell say Bordeaux and Glasgow corner, Sabia corner, non corner, almost a ball at the Tottenham Hotspurs, Bobo corner. There is update in Esmia Tipple. Now they tell say Chelsea the Blues, Bobo, Enzo Maresca, one of the boys, almost 50 hours just say. Stamford Bridge Airport at the Benfica Bobo Kono. After Galatasaray, I was Sugru Sarakogo Sports Stadium Airport at the Liverpool. We never walk alone. And we just said the Champions League Manchester and also HB Barcelona. Now, ahead of that game, long. Alright, friends, Zabi Alonso, one coach, and the match said, Real Madrid, none what that I'm going to 5-2. And La Liga Santander, and no, and I'm a match here. Next match, I can say against our Champions League. Jose Mourinho, or a former coach, Eddie Galatasaray, Nano, Adano, public free, Chesetino. Now, and then Prime Lucas, our manager, Edma Benfica, Wokono. Now, Urana have a grantee interview, and I say yes. One making history, our Chelsea Wokono. Ono nema Chelsea, and a Chelsea cinema Chelsea. And see, Ore Jose Mourinho, or say Chelsea, I'm making impact on the life, and also I'm making impact on Chelsea Bokonwa. And also, I Jose Mourinho, I'm pumping the updating estimate for the other hand, or kindly, Papa Paul, every project am I.
Of course, I will always be a Blue. I'm part of their history, and they are part of my history. I helped them to become a bigger Chelsea, and they helped me to become a bigger Jose. When I say I'm not a Blue, I hope everybody understands it, that I'm speaking about the job that I have to do, tomorrow. But in relation to these pictures, there are not many clubs that do this, because in many clubs, it looks like there is a fear of what happened in the past, and there is a continuous transformation of pictures. Sometimes it looks like they want to delete people that made history in the clubs. I think this show that Chelsea is really a big club, because big clubs are also.
K-Sports, me am DJ Chairman. Most to pack support and I feel Papa Paul and the videos and updating as soon as you take for MIB and your support. And to buy one subscribe, or best say, I feel like can comment what they say or their title. My reviews of predecessors or the title original lips. That's so.